there, welcome back to Beauty Bee and to a 2 looks 1 palette video using the BYOP winter palette that I put together, I don't know when this video is going up, probably about a week ago on my channel. Here is what this looks like. Today I think I'm going to do a little bit of a more colorful look. I'm thinking I'm going to use quite a bit of this pink, some of this darker, more red-violet shade, and probably one of the neutrals. Or one of the shimmery neutrals. I'm not really sure which one. Anyway, we're gonna get to it because you'll find out right along with me what I'm doing. I have some eye base down. I used the e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer, which is a white base. I think that will allow some of these colors to pop a little bit better, and I was just interested in trying it out. So I'm going to start with that sort of bubblegum pink. This is a matte with a little bit of glitter in it, but I don't find that the glitter really shows up on me. I'm taking that on a very small crease brush. I'm just going to put that in my crease, but in the inner half of my crease. I didn't know if I should set down the e.l.f. Putty Primer or not, so I just didn't. But I feel like it's tugging a little bit. Maybe I should have set it down. Alright, so that's looking pretty bad so far, but it'll look better. Now I'm going into this red-violet shade, again on the same brush, and I'm going to fill out the outer half of my crease. Oh, that is pigmented. That is more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. Oh well. We'll figure it out. This is my first time using the ColourPop Play It Jewel palette, which is where that particular shade, as well as the purple, the blue, and I think I want to say there's another color that came from it. I don't remember. Okay, so I need to figure out how to erase, and I think that the tool for doing that is going to be this MAC powder. This is just a little sample of their powder foundation, which is, what is it called? Studio Fix Plus powder foundation. And I'm going to take that on a shader brush and just go over much of that purple. Especially the outer edges. Okay. I've got myself at least, like, mostly out of clown territory now. I'll probably end up back there in just a couple minutes, but, you know, for right now at least, I think it's looking okay. Next up, I'm going to take some more of that bubblegum pink. I feel like I really lost that with the purple. There was just so much more color than I thought there was going to be. I'm going to go over that area again. So I do really want that pink to show up. I want it to blend into the purple, not be entirely overshadowed. overshadowed by that deeper color. Okay. I don't love where that's at, but I don't hate it either. I was kind of toying with the idea of going in with a blue lid, but I feel like with everything else I have going on, that would just be too much at this point. So I think instead I'm going to use this more golden shade, or actually, how about this more pink shade? I know it doesn't look pink in the pan compared to everything else in the palette, but it is sort of a rosy taupe shade. I think I'm going to go with that all over the lid. That's pretty. I like that shade a lot. I'm going to bring it up a little bit further than I usually would to cover up some of the purple. Okay. I'm actually liking where this is headed. I was kind of worried for a little while, but I think that this is going to be okay. Thank goodness. So, next up, I think I'm going to go into a little bit of this burgundy mixed with a little bit of the shimmery purple, and I'm going to use that along my lower lash line. For that, I need a brush. A little bit of each of those. Holy Pigment Batman. Okay, I need to go over the edges of this even more. I'm probably going to add some just straight white from another palette to my brow bone. So let me find a shade like that. Okay, this is not quite a white, but it is a very light pink, and it's actually probably the single closest shade that I own to my skin tone. So we're going to use some of that along my brow bone, as well as use it to blend out that purple a little bit more. Sometimes I will practice looks before I sit down to film them, but I kind of also like to show how I guess a lot of people kind of fix things when they've gone wrong, or at least, do damage control. I feel like that's really a useful thing to see, and it's not something that you see a lot of on YouTube for some reason. Well, probably because a lot of people who are on YouTube are, very much, if not pros, then pro level, so they're probably not making as many mistakes. But I think a lot of people also just want to project that they really know what they're doing, which is totally understandable. So I think a lot of people get rid of videos that don't turn out well, or looks that go a little bit awry. But I think it's useful to see sometimes. Okay, we're getting off subject today. I am going to take a little bit of that white shade. I'm just going to take that on my pinky. Well, not actually on my pinky, because it turns out my pinky has that purple eyeshadow on it. I'm going to stick that just in my inner corner. bring it out just a little bit over that gold. All right. I actually am really liking where that is at. I think I'm going to add some blush. This is my e.l.f. Sparkling Rose. I don't even remember what it's called. Some kind of multi-stick. It's like a eye, lip, and cheek tint. Maybe that's what they're called. It doesn't really matter. I don't really ever use it anywhere except on my cheeks. But this is a really nice cream to powder formula. I really enjoy it. It's just something that I don't think you reach for very often. Alright. To warm that up, or actually cool it down just a little bit, so exactly the opposite of what I said, I'm going to go in with this ColourPop blush. This is the shade Night Bloom, and it is kind of purple. I adore this. I think it looks so fresh and just interesting. It looks so different from what I see most of the time. I don't know why more brands don't have colors like this. And I mean, even this blush, I got this on super sale from ColourPop. I want to say I got this for like $3 or $4. But I cannot recommend it highly enough. I think it's such a pretty and unique color. My lips, I think I'm going to stick with something that also has a little bit of purple to it. This is from MAC, and it is the shade Bated Breath. It's one of their Love My Lips, Love Me lipsticks. Has a little bit of purple to it. It's sort of a purpley mauve nude. I also already have some EOS balm down, so this is going to be more sheer and more shiny than it would usually be. I like that. I think I want just a hair more pink to it, though. Do I have anything that's going to do that? Yeah. I'm going to add just a little bit of my NYX Butter Gloss in Tiramisu. I'm getting so close to panning this thing. I can feel it. I didn't swirl it around today. It's just got this bubble right here that shows all the time. I feel like I'm really close. I'm going to put on some mascara just to complete everything, and then we will talk about the final, or at least mostly final look. Okay, mascara is on, and I decided that I need a little bit of highlighter, so I'm going to go in to this white highlighter from Wet n Wild. It actually has quite a bit of purple to it, which I think will go well with the rest of the look. So I'm just going to put that right along my cheekbone and up onto the brow bone. Up at my temple, just that C shape that I want to highlight. I feel like with these more colorful highlighters, it's hard to tell if you're even on both sides. But I think I'm at least close. And I think that is look number 1. So, how does it look? I'm not thrilled with this, but I think that I have gleaned useful information from doing this, and if I were to redo this, I think I would actually really like the outcome. So, hopefully tomorrow's look will go a little bit more smoothly, and I will see you then. Hello again. I think today I want to go very blue. So what I'm thinking right now is that I'm going to kind of mix this periwinkle shade with the super, super shimmery white and put that over probably the inner 2/3 of my lid, and then overlap that with some of this bright shimmery blue and kind of go from there. See how things are coming together. So like last time, I have eye primer on. I also have some face primer on, my brows are on. Otherwise, no color cosmetics. So I'm just gonna go in with my finger into that periwinkle, and I'm gonna put that on the inner third or so of my lid. That actually laid down more color than I thought it might. I have used this color quite a bit, but I usually use it on a crease brush. And I have not a difficult time, but not a super easy time building up color. It's definitely buildable rather than just bam, pigment. I really like that. I think I'm gonna have to do some kind of 60s look with this matte light blue shadow at some point. Not today, but at some point. I think that'd be fun. So next up, I'm going to go into that deeper blue. This is a very shimmery shade. Look at that. I'm gonna pat that in my outer corner and extend in to about the halfway point on my lid with it. I am gonna put some more eyeshadow on, so I'm not super worried about blending things, but you know, I don't want to have a super harsh line either. It's all about balance. Actually don't hate where that's at, just as is. But because I said it was what I'm gonna do, let's go in to this white shade. I'm going to try to focus on the part that I haven't accidentally dyed burgundy. Still on my finger. I'm gonna put that over the purple, over the blue. I like that. I feel like that's giving the illusion that the blue purple is more of a multi-chrome, or duochrome at least, and that it kind of shifts from purple to blue rather than just being two distinct colors the way it actually is. I think my next stop is going to be into this light gold. It almost looks silvery in comparison to everything else. Actually, never mind. I'm going to go into this light silvery purple and stick a little bit of that right in my inner corner and over just a hair of my lid. I took that further down than I wanted to, so I'm going to find a hopefully clean little blender brush. Just try to clean that up as much as possible. Okay, that is looking good. Now I'm going to go in to a slightly larger crease brush for the sake of comparison. Here is the brush that I was using to clean up my inner corner. Here is the crease brush that I'm going to be using now. going to go into this really cool toned transition shade. I'm just going to blend over the edges just a little bit. Again, it's blue. I don't want any weird fading of blue into my skin. That's a really good way to look really sick, really tired, a little bit dead, or some combination of all three. I have not fully decided what I want to do with my lower lash line, but I think I'm going to start with some of this Beauty For Real liner. This is a bright shimmery blue. I'm just going to put that in my waterline. How? How did I do that? I'll just take that off later. I'm not too worried about it right now. And I thought this was going to be the more smooth of the two videos, or the two looks in this video. What do I know? Next, I'm going to take I think the same brush actually that I used yesterday for my lower lash line, which is this little shader brush. I'm going to take it into the blue and just put a little bit along, mostly the outer half of my lower lash line. Time for some mascara and removing this nonsense. And I will be back to figure out the lips and cheeks. I believe that the technical term for how much mascara I applied is all the mascara. I mean, this is not a subtle eye makeup look to start with. I mean, it's periwinkle and bright blue and shiny. Why not just lean into it? So I have two blushes pulled. I have Night Bloom from ColourPop and this Bare Minerals Gen Nude. I think I'm going to start out with Call My Blush, just to see if I can get an effect that I like from that. I mean, I would much rather not be using all the same face products in these two videos if I can avoid it. Or in the two looks in this video. I keep making that mistake. But at the same time, like, this needs Night Bloom. Night Bloom is a lot, but so is the rest of this. So I'm just going to switch sides of this almost paddle-shaped blush brush that I got from Farrah. I was not sold on this at first, but it is really nice for applying kind of subtle blush. It seems to really fit quite well onto the apple of my cheek. Just seems really like a good size for me personally. There's more of that impact. I love that purple blush. Now to put some purple on the lips, I think I'm gonna go with this little ultra matte lipstick in the shade Dark Room. I also have a little bit of EOS balm down, just like I did yesterday. So this color is going to be a little bit more sheer than you would usually get, which is fine by me. That got very 1980s very quickly. But you know what? We're just going with it. And I think I'm actually going to add a little bit of this purple gloss from NARS. This is the shade Disco Infernal. It doesn't really show up that purple. Just add some more gloss. and a very, very small hint of purple. There's almost no color to this. And I think that that is going to be it, because I don't know that my face can withstand a whole lot more color. I really like this look. It is definitely not, work appropriate, daytime for most people, but I think it's fun. I really love the mixture of the periwinkle and the blue. I am going to have to do that again. And I'm just so impressed with that periwinkle shade. I really had no idea how well that was going to build up, and I am impressed with it. It is the little eyeshadow that could. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found some inspiration from either the two looks that I've put together or this little palette. I have really been enjoying playing with this. I think that probably tomorrow or the next day I'm going to go in with all of these cool tone neutrals that I have on the side. I feel like that could make such a lovely, lovely cool tone soft glam look. I would really enjoy that. And really, I feel like I have not scratched the surface of the possibilities that I could do with this palette. I can see myself doing a look that really focuses on this duochrome along with the burgundy. This column looks super promising altogether. I'm just really happy with this little palette. I mean, not to toot my own horn too much, but I think that I did a really good job. So thanks again for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I hope that I will see you all in my next video. Bye!